For 6 decades, the Philippine Army has rolled into battle on the same wheels and tracks, the M113s and V-150s of another era. These machines, born in the Cold War, have carried soldiers through jungles, cities, and insurgencies. But today, as warfare moves faster, deadlier, and more connected, the Army faces a simple question: can the Philippines finally move beyond 1960s armor? The arrival of the new IVECO Guarani 6x6 may hold the answer. The M113A2 remains the backbone of the Army's mechanized forces. First produced in the early 1960s, hundreds of these vehicles reached the Philippines through U.S. assistance programs and excess defense articles. Rugged, reliable, and easy to maintain, the M113 became a workhorse in internal conflicts, from counterinsurgency campaigns in Mindanao to urban operations during the Battle of Marawi. The upgraded M113A2 variants, some fitted with Elbit-made remote weapon stations, still perform adequately in these limited environments. Their simplicity is both their strength and their curse. The problem is that the battlefield has changed. The M113's aluminum armor was never designed to withstand RPGs, roadside bombs, or modern 30mm cannons. Its powertrain is underpowered for rapid maneuvering, and its flat belly offers no protection against mines or IEDs. On an island battlefield where ambushes and asymmetric threats dominate, this vulnerability becomes deadly. What once was a capable armored personnel carrier is now a rolling coffin if caught in the wrong fight. The M113 has served well, but it belongs to another century, a time before drones, precision strikes, and networked warfare. The Guarani 6x6 is designed for that new reality. Built by IVECO defense vehicles with Brazilian Army experience, it represents a generation of wheeled armored vehicles optimized for hybrid conflicts, part counterinsurgency, part high-intensity warfare. Weighing around 17 tons, Guarani uses a welded steel hull shaped to deflect blasts. It meets STANAG Level 3 or 4 ballistic and mine resistance standards, meaning it can survive small arms fire, shrapnel, and explosions from mines under its wheels. Its engine delivers 383 horsepower, giving speeds up to 100 kilometers per hour, and its amphibious propulsion allows river and littoral operations, essential for an archipelagic nation. Guarani can mount a remote weapon station with 12.7mm machine gun or 30mm cannon, and can even host light turret modules such as Elbit's UT-30 or a 105mm gun in fire support configuration. It carries 11 troops and a crew of 3. More importantly, it's part of a modular design philosophy. Sensors, radios, and digital battle networks are integrated from the start. It is not just a vehicle, it is a node in a battlefield information web. For the Philippines, that makes it a leap in connectivity, protection, and doctrine. Side by side, the difference between the two platforms is stark. The M113A2 is a relic of the Cold War. The Guarani is a child of asymmetric warfare. The M113 has limited protection, modest speed, and minimal crew comfort. Guarani offers higher survivability, better mobility, and scalable firepower. It can deploy quickly across islands, supporting both conventional operations and humanitarian tasks. Yet this superiority brings cost and complexity. Guarani demands advanced maintenance facilities, specialized tools, and trained technicians. Spare parts will come from overseas. Delays or budget shortfalls could ground the fleet. The question, therefore, is not whether Guarani is better, it obviously is, but whether the Philippines can sustain it. The acquisition of 28 Guarani vehicles marks more than a fleet upgrade. It signals a doctrinal shift. For decades, the Philippine Army was infantry-centric, optimized for fighting insurgents in mountains and villages. The new modernization roadmap, Horizon 3, aims to build genuine mechanized brigades, capable of joint maneuver with armor, artillery, and air support. Guarani fits into this plan as the backbone of mobile infantry battalions. Alongside the Sabra light tank and Atmos self-propelled howitzer, it forms part of a family of systems sharing common electronics and support chains supplied by Elbit systems. This interoperability will simplify training and logistics if managed well. Such integration would allow the Army to conduct fast, protected movements between islands, supporting naval and air operations. The Guarani's wheeled design is ideal for road networks and roll-on, roll-off ferries, enabling deployment across Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao without heavy transporters. It also complements the Philippines' geographic doctrine, defense by mobility, not mass. In a future conflict where the enemy may strike multiple islands simultaneously, being able to shift mechanized units within hours could be decisive. Yet modernization does not come cheap. The defense budget, roughly $4.6 billion USD a year, represents only about 1% of GDP. Competing priorities, air defense, maritime patrol, coastal missile systems, will strain funding. The Army must ensure that procurement does not end at delivery. Without a domestic maintenance hub, even the most advanced vehicles risk being parked and forgotten. The experience of other nations shows that the real cost of modernization lies in the next 10 years of upkeep, not the first year of purchase. Infrastructure adds another challenge. Many provincial bridges and rural roads in the Philippines are not rated for 17-ton vehicles. Repair networks, fuel supply, and spare parts pipelines must adapt. Training also demands time. Drivers, gunners, and maintenance crews must master new electronics and digital fire control systems. Without this human investment, Guarani could become an expensive showpiece rather than a transformation. However, if managed properly, the payoff is profound. A fleet of modern 6x6 armored vehicles would give the Philippines, for the first time, a credible mobile protected force, one capable of both domestic security and external defense. It would allow soldiers to survive IED ambushes, maneuver rapidly across islands, and operate with allies using NATO standard systems. The symbolism is powerful. After decades of dependence on cast-off American armor, the Philippine Army is buying something new, built for its environment, not inherited from another war. Ultimately, the contest between the M113A2 and the Guarani is not about two machines, but about two eras. One belongs to a past where endurance mattered more than innovation, the other to a future that prizes survivability, digital connectivity, and speed. The M113 has earned its respect. It carried generations of Filipino soldiers safely through civil wars and counterinsurgencies. But the modern battlefield will not forgive nostalgia. The Guarani represents not just new steel and rubber, but a new mindset, that protection and mobility are the foundation of deterrence. Modernization, however, is not a parade of new vehicles. It is a test of discipline. Will the Army build the maintenance depots, training schools, and supply chains necessary to keep these machines alive? Will Congress sustain the budget when global prices rise? The answer to those questions will decide whether the Philippines merely buys the future or actually enters it. In the end, the Guarani stands as both promise and warning. It promises a leap beyond the 1960s, a chance for the Army to operate with confidence, speed, and safety. But it also warns that modernization without structure is illusion. The M113 carried the Philippines through decades of war. The Guarani will carry it into the next, if the nation chooses to see modernization not as an event, but as a continuous act of responsibility. This is not just a contest of armor. It is the moment where the Philippines decides whether to remain trapped by history or to drive beyond it.